What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And for the first time publicly, Brighton's manager Zerbi has admitted that Brighton will sell Moises Caicedo and Alexis MacAllister almost certainly this summer transfer window, even though Caicedo just signed a new contract and Liverpool are in pole position to sign Alexis MacAllister. We had another journalist confirm that Liverpool have started talks with Brighton for the transfer of Alexis MacAllister, but everything will be finalized probably after the season is done on May the 28th. And let me know what is your score prediction for the big Leicester City Liverpool game. Both teams absolutely have to win. Leicester to stay up in the Premier League and Liverpool to stay in the hunt for the top 4 race. So I expect a very fiery game on Monday Night Football and I'm really looking forward to it. And of course tune into my channel because I will be covering the reaction to the game, and my post-match analysis will be on my channel after the game is finished. And leave a like on this video if you enjoy these transfer news updates, and subscribe if you are new around here so you stay up to date with the latest Liverpool transfer news updates. And Zerbi for the first time publicly conceded that both Caicedo and MacAllister could be sold this summer. He said after Brighton's absolutely brilliant 3-0 victory over Arsenal, which pretty much ended Arsenal's title hopes and title dreams, Arsenal fans were seen leaving the stadium in thousands, by the thousands, and that's a real shame because Arsenal, I think, overall still had a pretty good season. Of course, you can't compare Arsenal to the Liverpool which finished second to Man City, because we got to 92 and 97 points. The maximum that Arsenal could get is 87 points, which is still a pretty good season, but you need 93, 95, 96 points to win the title nowadays. And even once there was a 97 point season by Liverpool which didn't win the title, and yes, Arsenal were the second best team in the Premier League this season, but they can't compare themselves to the Liverpool teams who finished second behind Man City, because when we finished second last season by 1 point, we won the FA Cup and the League Cup, and we played the Champions League final as well. When we finished second with 97 points, we won the Champions League that season. Arsenal didn't win anything else this season, so they can't really compare themselves. But let's talk about Alexis MacAllister. Zerbi told Sky Sports after the 3-0 win against Arsenal, for sure we will lose some players, maybe Caicedo and MacAllister, and we have to be ready to bring in more good players. And for the other players like Karumi Toma, Pervis Estupiñán, I think for them the best solution is to stay with us for one more season. I don't know if they are ready to play in the big teams. You have to arrive ready in the head. We can offer them the possibility to progress and to improve, and this actually increases Brighton's chances of qualifying for Europe. And my prediction is Liverpool and Brighton will finish 5th or 6th, depending on how consistent both teams can be. I think Brighton have a very tough fixture list. They have like 5 games in 15 days or something like that, just so a little bit over 2 weeks. Brighton have to play 5 games, then they still have to play Manchester City, Newcastle. I really hope that Brighton take points off Newcastle, because that would open the door even further for Liverpool to finish in the top 4. And I mean, even Brighton are not out of the top 4 race, even though they have a game in hand and they are 4 points behind Liverpool. They also can finish in the top 4 if both Newcastle and Man United collapse. And according to Galletti, a journalist reporting for ESPN, he said that Liverpool have several names on their midfielder list. At the top certainly is Declan Rice and Alexis MacAllister. So the first preliminary contacts have begun with Brighton and also West Ham. For both players though, the competition is fierce, and I very much doubt that Liverpool would sign Declan Rice, because if we are truly in for a defensive midfielder, Manuel Ugarte is a lot cheaper. He costs around 40, 45, maybe 50 million pounds if Sporting wants is really close to be paid, and Declan Rice is 75, 80 million pounds, maybe even 100 million. If Arsenal and Man United are stiffing around Declan Rice, then that could increase his price even more. And with Liverpool trying to sign Alexis MacAllister for 70 million, Mason Mount or Ryan Gravenberch, we need to spend around 100-120 million already on attacking midfielders. Do we have another 80 million for a defensive midfielder? I very much doubt it, because that would take our spending to 200 million, and we haven't even signed a centre back on top of these players. So I think it would be a lot smarter transfer strategy for Liverpool to sign Alexis, MacAllister, and either Mason Mount or Ryan Gravenberch, whoever is available. With Pochettino going to Chelsea, maybe he will convince Mason Mount to extend his contract. Maybe he will say to Mason Mount that he will, play every game and he will be a regular starter, and Mason Mount then would probably stay at Chelsea. So we have to have other transfer targets lined up, and my ideal signings would be Mason Mount, Alexis MacAllister and Manuel Ugarte, and that would cost Liverpool around 170 million pounds, and if we sign another centre back, then our spending would go to 210 million pounds, and that's, I think, the bare minimum that Liverpool have to do in order to improve. We can save a little bit of money if we sign Ryan Gravenberch instead of Mason Mount, but I'm not sure if Gravenberch is as good a player as Mason Mount, and also what kind of role would Jurgen Klopp give Gravenberch, because I'm still not sure whether he's an attacking midfielder, a box-to-box midfielder, or a defensive midfielder. He's still so young, only 20 years old, Ryan Gravenberch. And Allison, our brilliant goalkeeper who just kept 100 clean sheets for Liverpool, he has confirmed that he wants to stay at Liverpool for a long time, and he wants to become a legendary goalkeeper for the football club. And that's what you want to hear from one of your best players. That's what you want to hear from the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. So many people were losing loved ones. He was speaking about the death of his father. I think the world was in a place where everybody was ready to show love for people. The boys and the staff here at the club were amazing. Everybody felt my pain together, not only here but the football world. What helped me most is my faith. When I signed a new deal or long-term deal at this club, I thought a lot at this moment, and that everybody was there for me. I have this feeling that I want to be there for the club as well, to keep making history, and I think Alisson is well on his way to become one of the best and one of the biggest Liverpool legends when it comes to goalkeepers. He said, I haven't put the t-shirt on the wall yet, which he got after recording his 100th clean sheet for Liverpool, but he said, it means a lot to me, even if I don't realize how big keeping 100 clean sheets for Liverpool is right now. And that's, one of the biggest achievements that the goalkeeper can get for one of the biggest clubs, one of the top 5 biggest clubs in the world. To keep 100 clean sheets is an absolutely magnificent and huge achievement. And Alisson is already up there with the legends of Ray Clemens and Bruce Grobbelaar and Pepe Reina. And I think Alisson could become as big a legend as Ray Clemens, who is undoubtedly, I think, the biggest legend when it comes to goalkeepers at Liverpool. Maybe in the future I will realize how big an achievement it is. I definitely want to take the next step. 100 is a lot for me now, but in comparison to the great goalies in Liverpool's history, is not even 50% of what they achieved. I think Ray Clemens had over 600 matches for Liverpool, 665 to be precise, and I don't know if I can play that amount here, but I'm already looking forward to the next 50 or 100 clean sheets. I admire a lot what the great goalies did, but I'm writing my own story here at Liverpool. And yes, Alisson still has a long way to go if he wants to emulate some of the biggest goalkeepers. I mean, for example, Ray Clemens kept 323 clean sheets in 665 games, a ratio of 48%. Absolutely crazy. And I mean, Pepe Reina kept 45% with 177 clean sheets in 394 games. So Pepe Reina played almost 400 games. Alisson is on 229 games at the moment. He has a clean sheet ratio of 43.6%, so very close to Pepe Reina. But Ray Clemens, I mean, he has the best clean sheet ratio with 48%. I don't think Alisson can beat that, to emulate that. But for Alisson to even play like 400 games, he needs to stay at Liverpool for another 3, 4, 5 seasons. And I just want him to become, maybe the second or third best goalkeeper in Liverpool's history, behind Ray Clemens, Bruce Grobbelaar, Elisha Scott, Pepe Reina, Tommy Lawrence, even David James. These are the keepers that I mentioned that have more than 100 clean sheets. And now Alisson is in this very illustrious company, so I'm absolutely in love with him. He's such a brilliant player. As I said, the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. He kept, out more than 14 goals this season on his own. The XG that Liverpool conceded is 14 goals more than the actual goals that Liverpool conceded, which means that Alisson helped Liverpool the most out of any goalkeeper, in any league, in any team in the Premier League. And just to compare, for example, the Southampton goalkeeper Bazunu, he's one of the biggest reasons why Southampton actually got relegated, because he conceded, I think, 16 goals more than Southampton should have conceded from the quality of chances that the Southampton's opponents had. So that shows what a big difference a goalkeeper makes. And if Alisson wasn't our goalkeeper, Liverpool would be nowhere near the European places. We would be in somewhere along where Chelsea are, around 15-20 points worse off than what we are actually. So that's actually absolutely brilliant, and it shows what a brilliant keeper Alisson has been for Liverpool, not just this season but for many seasons. And I hope that Alisson will stay at Liverpool. He's only, I think, 30 years old, so he can still stay at Liverpool for at least another 5, 6, 7 years before maybe he considers retirement. But his family is happy at Liverpool, he's happy at Liverpool, and hopefully we can build a great team ahead of him so he doesn't have to be that busy next season. And also, Zerbi said that basically Brighton just put the same shirts on that they wore against Man United. They believed their own hype after beating Man United, and they got humbled by Everton 5-1. But then the Brighton manager promised that they will be back to the same team and they will be back to their original self against Arsenal. And boy, did they prove him right, the manager, because Brighton played an almost flawless performance. And the way De Zerbi celebrated the 3-0, the third goal, sliding on his knees, Jose Mourinho style, I think he will remember that game for a long time, because Brighton really showed everybody in the Premier League that they can beat even one of the best attacking sides in the Premier League. I mean, to keep a clean sheet against Arsenal at the Emirates when Arsenal are going for the title is absolutely huge. And Brighton showed that they are ready for Europe, definitely. I'm not sure if they are ready for the Champions League, because you need to be consistent, and Liverpool haven't been consistent. Brighton have lost to Nottingham Forest and Everton in this run-in that they have, and they have also very tough games coming up. And I'm hoping that Brighton's good form will carry on and they will beat Newcastle, because then Newcastle will be extremely nervous for their last two games, especially if Liverpool beat Leicester. But Liverpool have to do their job against Leicester City, otherwise we won't finish in the top 4. I don't see Newcastle dropping 6, 7, 8 points. They just need to drop 4 more points or 5 points and Liverpool will be in. So 2 draws or a draw and a defeat would be enough for either Newcastle or Man United to let Liverpool sneak into the top 4. I'm just hoping and not expecting that to happen. And the Brighton manager said that we have to improve in mentality. We are not used to playing 3 games per week. We won a fantastic game with Man United against Man United, and after 4 days we played against Everton. And we didn't use the victory against Man United. We just brought the shirts out, but not the performance. And this is the most important part to improve. And I think Brighton definitely improved. And it's actually a good sign that Brighton's manager publicly admitted that MacAllister and Caicedo might leave this summer. MacAllister, I think, is more likely. Caicedo, because he signed a new long contract, Brighton would ask 80, 85, 90 million for Caicedo. I mean, they even rejected like 75 million in January for Caicedo, which is absolutely crazy that Brighton have the financial ability to actually do that, to reject the 75 million pound offer. And it has been justified, because Brighton wouldn't be in 6th place if they sold Caicedo in January. They wouldn't be able to sign as good a player who would help them as much as Caicedo. So Brighton did really well with their transfer strategy, and Liverpool need to emulate this. Liverpool need to sign the right kind of young players. But Brighton also have a very cautionary tale of Southampton, because 10 years ago, 8 years ago, even 7, 5, 6 years ago, Southampton were today's Brighton. Everybody was admiring Southampton's recruitment policy and youth academy and how they brought both players who went on to become big players for big clubs. I mean, just look at Sadio Mane, Adam Lallana, Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool signed so many players from Southampton, and a lot of other players went on to great things. Dejan Lovren even used to play for Southampton. Half of the Liverpool team at one point were ex-Southampton players. Alexis actually started his career at Southampton, just like Gareth Bale. So the Southampton recruitment and youth academy was admired, but then they changed strategy lately. They signed a lot of players, a lot of young players for like £140 million in the past like 12 months, and that backfired actually, because they had too many young players and not enough experience and not enough quality, so they got relegated. Brighton have to have this cautionary tale that they need experience and Premier League proven quality, not just young talented players. But as long as they have such a talented manager like Zerbi, they will be fine. But I feel Zerbi will become a top coach, because he inherited a good team, but Brighton are like better than the sum of their parts. They are much better, and they are using a system and a tactical approach that helps all the players improve and develop and thrive. And that's the model for every like smaller mid-table Premier League side. And Zerbi will probably end up becoming a top manager in 4 or 5 years. I think he should stay still at Brighton for another 1, 2, 3 years, depending on how they develop, because a European adventure with Brighton, their first in their history. I think Brighton never played in Europe before. That would be absolutely amazing, and Zerbi deserves to figure out how he can perform in European football, because playing 2 games every week, 3 games every week is totally different than just preparing the team for 1 game per week. And I'm not too worried that Brighton will overtake Liverpool this season because of their hard running. But the fact that Brighton are even this close to Liverpool and they are above Tottenham shows what a magnificent job Zerbi has done. Let's go Liverpool, let's beat Leicester, and let's keep the pressure on Newcastle and Manchester United. I'm really looking forward to the game tonight. Thanks for watching, have a lovely day, see you later, goodbye.